Hi, welcome to my channel, and today we are doing a sketchbook tour. This is a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook. This is my fourth one like this to complete in less than a year, and I'm going to put up some information for where I got some of these lovely stickers. Many are my friends on Instagram, and let's get started. I always like to start my sketchbooks with the first page or the first spread being a list of goals and ideas, as well as some basic information like which sketchbook it is and the start and completion date. And I also like to include some kind of little motivational quote. I wanted the first spread to kind of say something about what a sketchbook means to me. It got a little bit, a lot. It got a lot more wild than I planned on, and also I didn't really use any references. It was just kind of like a wild imagination sort of drawing, but I really enjoyed it. So it's like a dream world with aliens and giant cats and painting a huge sketchbook, and it was really fun. It was a lot. I'm not sure I would do the same thing again, but also I don't know. Oh, and this is coffee. This does look like my favorite coffee cup. It has a little cat face on it, and the aliens obviously really want the coffee. So anyway, that's the first spread. And then Moonflower, I wrote a poem that I kind of fleshed out and decided that one day I'm going to write it as a children's book. And these are some character concept sketches for the main character of that. Not very developed at all, but I will probably share more about that eventually one of these days once I have more on it. I was really excited about this drawing. I actually did an underpainting in the Holbein Acrylic Gouache in magenta, and I was going to make the cat, I think the cat was going to be gray, and then I painted everything else, and I loved the way the magenta underpainting coming through looked, so I didn't paint the cat. I just left him or her magenta, and I really like how it turned out. So sometimes those little spontaneous surprises that art brings can be really fun. These are a couple of traditional gouache portraits. This is not exactly, but sort of a cartoonish self-portrait. And this is just from a really cute Pinterest reference. And then I got some new watercolor colors and I wanted to swatch them. So I swatched just big shapes of them and then doodled with the Pentel pocket brush. It is really fun just to use, and I've been wanting to use it. It's this one. It's like a really juicy brush pen, and it was very fun to just doodle these little shapes on top of here. Also, this paper is amazing. It holds up to everything so well. Even that really thick ink doesn't soak through. This was a draw this in your style for one of my friends on Instagram. I'll put her information up here. This, I guess I didn't like this page. I don't remember what was there. I think it was just doodles, but I wanted a place to put this, so I put it here. This is traditional gouache, and it's a cardinal, and it's on Strathmore mixed media gray toned paper, and I really like this paper, and I think this is the only time I've used it, so I need to start using it more. These are some calcifer doodles. Once I just really love Howl's Moving Castle, and calcifer is so fiery and cute, and I actually made this one, this neon color pencil drawing that actually glows in the dark as well, into a sticker that I have right here. It's also on my Etsy shop, but I was just I had watched the movie and was thinking about it and drew some little calcifers. And this side over here was planning for a bigger painting / illustration that I did, not in my sketchbook, but I love thumbnails like this where you really cover all the bases and kind of decide on colors and everything. It's so much fun to use your sketchbook in this way, making notes and planning everything and kind of tweaking it as you go. And I'll have to put a picture of that illustration on the screen because I do really like how it turned out, but I kind of almost like the sketch here better because it's so much more in the moment. Another cardinal. I really had cardinals on my mind for some reason, and these are just some thumbnails. This became the first sketch idea for this cool painting that I did on panel. This is one of my favorite paintings that I've done in a while. It's a haunted forest, and then this one is a thumbnail. I'm sure I'll make a painting of it eventually, called Fear the Dark. This was a jellyfish ballerina mermaid sketch for Mermaid, and then I did do a painting kind of inspired by that later on. And then here is a cute little fairy cottage. I just was playing with gouache, just really sketching, and this is where we ended up, which was really fun. I think this is another Draw This in Your Style or some kind of art challenge, if not a Draw This in Your Style. I'm not sure anymore. And this was a study of an otter, but I used crazy colors and I turned this heart into a little speech bubble that says I'm an otter. And this is a picture actually of my plant that I have right here. This was but the pot isn't pink. I just was like making it more fun. But yeah, so this was a still life of the plant on my desk. Whenever the plant was a lot smaller, it's so much bigger now. And then I just wanted to use that gouache as well for this. And then this is a watercolor and color pencil fairy doodle. We saw the Mario movie when it came out, so I had to do kind of an obligatory Mario drawing. And then that was during Mermaid, and I never shared this mermaid. I don't know why, like I guess I didn't like how it turned out or something, but here's a mermaid that I drew during May. These were just some quick figure studies from references on Pinterest, just like poses and things. I feel like I need to do this more to kind of be more comfortable with anatomy so that I don't make up how people look and draw them looking super unrealistic. Like, I really should sit down once a week, or like even for just like 10 minutes daily, and do figure study drawings, because it really helps, like especially in poses like where you've got like foreshortening and you've got like different angles where, you know, I don't know, it's worth practicing. I need to do it more. This, I have a YouTube video of the process of this. This is a gouache and color pencil fairy, and I really enjoyed the process of this piece and sharing it on YouTube. And over here, my daughter got this pastel set of watercolors for Christmas, and I decided I wanted to swatch them because I really like this color, and this color, I think, are really pretty. Here I was just thinking, it was probably May or early June, and I was thinking about how much I miss October, so I wrote this silly poem and I drew this just really quick, goofy, messy Halloween cat. Like, I was wishing it was fall, so I'll read the poem. It says, "Oh, how I hunger for October, the cool crisp air and changing leaves. How I wish for summer to be over. Till then I'll dream my autumn dreams." And really all summer, I live in Texas, so summer literally lasts like 9 months here. I swear, it's like above 80 degrees like 9 months out of the year, and I just want it to be fall and winter all the time. This is another art challenge, and then these are some sketches preparing for this drawing, which was for Mermaid. I really do like it, but also the more I look at it, the more I think her proportions got a little off, but also she is a jellyfish mermaid, so I guess who knows what a jellyfish mermaid's proportions would be, so I'm not too worried about it. This was another Mario movie inspired spread, and I really love it. I had so much fun just doodling all these little things. It was about Princess Peach, so it was like all these cute colors in the background, and then Peaches, of course, because who couldn't get the Peaches song out of their head after the Mario movie. And then when I finished this, I had paint left on my palette, and I did this landscape that really matches, just like with I didn't want to waste the leftover paint, and it's gouache, so I could have used it, but I didn't want to let it dry out. I wanted to go ahead and use it, so that's where this came from. These are a little bit hard to see, but there's some Prismacolor Colorase sketches, just for fun, just like some little portraits. And over here, I was testing those same new watercolors I had tested before, but kind of like mixing them. And then these are Derwent Inktense pencils, which I still do not have the hang of. I bought like a pack of them because they were on sale for really, really cheap on Amazon, and I'm still not sure I know what to do with them, but they're fun anyway. They're really travel friendly because you don't have to, you can color, and then they're like watercolor pencils but inks. They're really cool. This is an Ohuhu marker drawing. I'm trying to get back more into those because I have 2 sets of them, so it makes a pretty good range of colors, and I really enjoy using them, but I just kind of had them put away for a while. So this is a Pinterest reference. This is a watercolor of a house. I think I also found it on Pinterest. And then this is a little watercolor doodle of a cute little snail with flowers, and it's inspired by a lamp. We have this lamp that, like, every time I see it, I think about the actual snail, if it were an actual snail. So I'll have to put a picture of the lamp. It really, I wanted to draw it for days, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna draw that lamp. And then over here was planning for this illustration again. Might as well show it again. I really enjoy doing this. I spent like a week on this, and I think I also have a process video of it on my channel as well. So this was kind of preparing for that, and it ended up a lot more pink than it did here, but I really enjoyed that process. And then a chili pepper and some portraits, a little doodle or two. This is this guy, sort of. Some quotes: "One need not be a chamber to be haunted." I love that. And then I wrote a poem to go with the ghost painting. I think it's actually a couple pages on though. This is my cat. His name is Jonesy, but my son always calls him Orange One, so that's his nickname. We basically call him Orange One all the time. And then just a semi-realistic apple. And this was one of those days where I did not know what I wanted to do. So I just did super random stuff, and sometimes this is just the most satisfying thing to do in your sketchbook. Just literally randomly fill a page with nothing and everything. Oh, and these are some Daniel Smith granulating watercolors, and they're so pretty. I love that. I was just like testing that out. And then this was an attempt at the Zorn palette after watching Jess Karp's video about the Zorn palette. It did not go great, but that's okay. I was just like seeing if I could do it with the colors I had. This is the poem for the Haunted Forest. The poem is called Haunted. It reads, "Alone but for the ghosts, and they are gracious hosts. I once feared being haunted, but that was long ago." And some silly ghosts here. And then this is the view outside of my window, kind of into my garden. I don't think I ever shared this anywhere either. It's just looking out my window. This is a quick watercolor sketch of what it was like out there at that time. This next page is just a fun sketch page. I didn't really know what I wanted to make that day, so I decided to just do some cute color pencil dogs, and then I wrote a quote from a song. And then I have been thinking a long time about an idea for a painting where somebody is riding a moth, and I actually just painted in a different sketchbook the moth, and I almost drew the person riding the moth. And I just drew the moth instead. I sketched this moth with the intention of putting the person riding the moth, and then I decided it just wouldn't quite work. So anyway, this is my current sketchbook that I started when I finished this one, and that was like the first couple of sketches for that moth. And then I didn't end up doing the person riding the moth. I don't know. Maybe I'll just let go of that idea. Maybe I will try it again and actually execute that part of the plan. This was just like a messy page. This too, I think I was going through some like amount of art block at this time, but this was just kind of like fun sketchbooky pages. I like this color pencil girl that I made like the window around. It's a quote from the Velveteen Rabbit. It says, "Everything that is real was imagined first." And I really like this gouache painting. Was like a day of me actually feeling really creative and just kind of having fun and painting something that I wanted to, and really kind of coming out of art block that day, I think. And I named it Keep Growing. So I did really enjoy that painting. And just a messy Harry Potter doodle page. And just a really simple pencil sketch. I think I was still in a bit of art block at this time, but I thought like what a better time to just do some graphite study. So I did some really precise, this was probably like, this whole spread was probably almost a week of sort of like being art blocked and also just thinking like, you know, let me just study some things and practice values and shapes and things like that. And I drew an ear, a very detailed ear, because ears are one of those things that I will hide them under hair when I'm drawing a portrait, or I will try to cover them up at all costs. And I was like, you know what? I need to draw an ear. I need to face my fears and draw an ear. So I've spent like 45 minutes drawing this ear, and I do actually feel better about drawing ears now because, you know, after you spend so long studying it, it seems less mysterious, I guess. And then this was using the same, I think I talked about it a minute ago, but yeah, the same Pentel pocket brush pen. These are really fun. They're so juicy and awesome for calligraphy or ink drawings. They are water soluble, so they'll run if you get them wet. But like, I mean, it fills like this area in like nothing. It's a really juicy marker brush pen sort of thing. And then this, I think I still was honestly like going through like a month of like a hard time as far as finding inspiration. This page is just like looking up a few Pinterest references. Actually, that's my hand, I think. I think I took a photo of my hand and I decided to paint it like that. So, I mean, I think that's what it was. And then this was just, yeah, a little study of a Pinterest reference, and so was this. And I like the way this turned out. I like how like fuzzy, blurry sort of, but still detailed the background is. And then I got some of these, I ordered these rainbow color pencils, and they're really fun to sketch with. I'm kind of addicted to them now. I use them a lot. And that's what this page was, like the first like testing out of like that rainbow. Over here, this was just another Pinterest thing. This is a sketch for a painting I will definitely do eventually, but it's very personal. So I'll probably, I don't know when I'll do it, but it's an idea I've had for a while. And then I wanted to just kind of get my hands sturdy with something different, so I used oil pastels and made this really messy thing here. And this piece is inspired by, well, I guess it's a fan art for the Beyond the Veil book series. This is Cauldress and Estrella, my version of them, and I will have to put in the description box a link to that book. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, and it's a 3-book series with the 4th book coming out sometime in October, and I really fell in love with those characters. It was a really good book. It's about like a whole fae world and all kinds of magic, and it's really interesting. And then this page, I was using that same brush pen again, and then also being really messy. And then, oh, this is one of my favorite like 2-color, like I could do a whole painting with just these 2 colors. This is quinacridone magenta, and I don't know, this one's like called like aqua, I think, in the White Nights watercolors. That's what I used here, but I have a Daniel Smith version of like the same color too. And you mix these 2 together and they make this really awesome like purple. And just like those 2 colors, I mean, you could paint anything mixing those 2 together. And then you have this in the middle as like your dark value, and then just like, I don't know, I need to do that, like a limited color palette with, you know, these 2 colors, and then they make this 3rd color, and then with watercolor you can get all the different values, and just, that's really a really fun color scheme to work with. I wrote Estrella and Cauldress, that's them. And then these are both stickers. These got messed up. I ripped them. I actually put them on a sketchbook and then decided I wanted the cover of my sketchbook to be more minimal, and I ripped them out and decided I was gonna put them in here, and I broke both of them in the process. Because I wasn't careful, because they're my stickers, I guess, I don't know, but I decided this would be a cool place to put them. This is of a watercolor painting, and then this is of an acrylic gouache painting, and they're also available on my Etsy shop if you are interested. I like making stickers because it's really addictive. This is like me stepping out of art block. This is when it happened. Okay, it's hard to see, but I drew another ear up here. It is a fae ear, and I love it. I don't know why I like this page so much. It's really basic, but here's a pointy fae ear. Here's some kind of like magical like fairy demon thing coming out of like a spell book or something. This is based on a drawing that was in a D&D handbook, but I kind of did it differently. But that's what it's inspired by. If you've seen that before, it's definitely inspired by that. Candle using that cool rainbow pencil. And then this was like, okay, I'm not art blocked anymore, because I loved this like painting. I was so messy and loose with like this background and everything, and then I went in with like an ink pen and decided to do the shape of like the tree fae and the mushroom circle. And I think I called it the Winter Watcher, and she's like a guardian of this like sacred like fae mushroom circle or something like that. And I don't know, I really just didn't look at like references or anything. I just like totally improvised like this and just like thought of, you know, did the snow with gouache over top, and like it was just fun. Like, I don't know, this was me like finally having some creative energy and just like letting it flow and feeling really good about it. This is me, even though it's 100 degrees in July at that time in Texas, wishing it was autumn, and I'm so glad it's finally coming up soon. But yeah, I guess it's like she's headless, but her head is a pumpkin, and there are all these vines growing out of here. This is a really messy gouache portrait. I think I used like the Himi gouache for this, like cheaper gouache, and I just kind of didn't plan it, didn't really sketch it. I just kind of went for it and made it messy and fun, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know, I really like kind of going in without a plan sometimes, and I try to make this like thing around her neck like spider webby. Like, I try to make her look a little spooky. I don't know. And then I do kind of regret using, I think I used a micron for these lines, but it's like reflective, whereas nothing else is, and it kind of bothers me, but oh well. Ooh, I almost missed a page. Okay, this is, I think I called it Cosmic Cafe or Cosmic Coffee or something like that. This is acrylic gouache, which is so satisfying to paint with. Every time I paint a full page with acrylic gouache, I just love how like smooth and finished it looks, because it's such like a smooth matte, like it's satisfying to touch. I guess, I don't know. So this is one of my favorite colors of it. This bright pink turns out so pretty every time. So it's like a cup of stars, kind of magical. And then this page I used one of my favorite sketching things, this Prismacolor neon pink pencil. I sketched so much with this, and I just sketched so much random. A hole in the head because I couldn't think of anything for a second, and a little mouse that is not shaped like how a mouse should be shaped. And then all these eyes. I actually used the leftover paint that was on my palette from here, and I just put it here and then drew the eyes over it. I didn't want to waste it. And this cute raccoon, he's so happy. I think he wants a hug. This is based on a Pinterest reference. Just the raccoon with the arms up, not the trash can. I improvised the trash can and just thought like the raccoon should be popping out of a trash can. And then at this point I was reading more like vampire novels, because I probably read like 2 novels a week. I've just been on a real reading kick lately. And so I wanted to do just like kind of a vampire aesthetic inspired spread or page. And this is what I ended up with. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be doing more vampire and fae inspired art, because I've just been reading so many fantasy novels, and I don't know, it just makes your imagination feel more alive. I guess I'm always a kid at heart, in that everything I do has to have so much imagination. It's like so far from reality, but that's just more fun. So anyway, vampire page. And then we found a lava lamp that we've had for like a long time, and we plugged it in, it worked, and it was exciting. So I decided to draw a lava lamp, and then random sketches of that rainbow pencil and like paint checker design. A very ugly ghost. I'm not sure like why he's shaped like that. It just happened. We don't talk about it. Okay. And then this is, I wanted to draw like a room, and it didn't really turn out how I planned, but I don't dislike it. I think I went way over with the line work. Like, I wanted to do line work and loosely watercolor it, and I think it's not really what I would consider loosely watercolored. And then I did like heavier line work than I planned on, but I still like it. Like, it's simple and I wanted it to be simple. So, you know, just a little witch doing some studying. I think I called it Midnight Magic, I think. And of course the moon and stars outside. Maybe she's in a castle or something. This was a really fun spread. I think I used gouache on all of these things. I didn't really have any certain idea. I just let it flow. I did look at a Pinterest reference, at least for this. I think that's the only one. And then the other ones were just like from my imagination. I just kind of used the same color palette and let it flow, and it turned out so cute. And then this I did in color pencils, and then her hair, like, there was so much white between it. Instead of spending the time blending it out, I went over it with a Tombow water-based brush pen, and these are really cool for like making color pencil drawings look finished. Like, they work really well with it. They don't like melt down the color pencil to blend it or anything, but they will fill the white space that's under it even if you draw it over the top, but they won't cover it. So I've actually done that a few times, but that's like a really cool trick too. Like, if you have an area of solid color, like I think it was this one, that her hair was, you know, it's got some pink and some green and other colors in it, and I just went over it with this because I didn't want to blend out all the color pencil, and it turned out just fine. Like, it was kind of like a quick way to like finish it out really quickly. This is, I don't know, kind of very moody sketches for a painting I want to do eventually. I don't know, it's about like trying to look happy all the time or something, even if you're not, and it's like taking off that mask or something. I don't know. So I'll probably paint that eventually. And then this very wonky death's head moth, like look at this side, look at this side. It's like, this one is so much bigger. I don't know, I was kind of in a hurry. And then this very last back page, or back spread, is I was using the Tombow dual brush pens again, and I wanted to do a sunset, and it like got muddy, and then I dropped water on it, and I don't even know when that happened. And then I have a quote: "It is a happiness to wonder, it is a happiness to dream." And then the last page, I always do like ideas for the first page of my next sketchbook. Like, I'm always just like kind of trying to plan the ideas, and like I don't know, like, so this was my next sketchbook that I started right after this, and my first page, I always do a goals and ideas page, and then a like something like that's supposed to be like kind of art inspiring for me. And so I painted a picture, like a self-portrait of myself using a paintbrush as a magic wand, and it was my first time using this paper. I should have tested it at the back, but my washi tape literally ripped like half the page off here. But I actually, and at first I thought I was going to throw the sketchbook away, and I hated it. And then I decided by about this point that I actually like it and I will keep it. So I guess mini sketchbook tour of my next sketchbook on the first few pages, because yeah, I do like the sketchbook now, and I will talk more about it in a future video, but it's the one I start after this one. And then the very back of this page I saved because I am going to do another sketchbook review, and I've actually filled 4 of these. This is my 4th one of these, of the Strathmore Mixed Media Sketchbook to fill. And I am going to do a kind of a review or like product testing of all different mediums on this paper and how they work. So that'll probably be my next video. It probably, hopefully, will be out in another week to 2 weeks. And I just want to test on this paper like watercolor gouache, acrylic gouache, you know, every different medium, and make it like a quick short video in case you're thinking of buying the sketchbook, so you'll see how it handles different mediums. So anyway, thank you for watching my sketchbook tour, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!